I'm not here.
Okay, regarding the credibility, I mean, I can always start with what we have done, and then we can try and see if we can map out something. We said from the beginning, this is crucial not to be a business school concept on a whiteboard. We want this to be tangible. Meaning, I mean, if you have a model, I think he's called bourgeois, something Frenchman. He says, okay, here you have something that is undescribed. You have described. You have here, you have uncoded, and you have coded. And coded, I don't mean programming coded. I mean, I'll come back to that in a second.
Define.
You always start with something, a good idea, and something that's completely undescribed. You've been in that stage, suddenly you meet each other and say, this is a good idea, why haven't anybody done this before? We should check into Bit Network, what they have done. But the thinking is that undescribed, you start describing it. At a point you need to stop. Or else you can never, ever in a dynamic world find out all the pitfalls that will show you. You won't even be able to do that. If you start continuing going this way, this is a Nobel Prize. Theory, but not in practice. And I'm not saying anything about Yunus in that sense.
Yes.
But just this is more going for a mathematical Nobel Prize or something. I mean, you need to go from uncoded to coded, and by that I mean go prototyping. And prototyping, in my sense, is start building iterations, because with your product you don't shape that glass. It's not a glass you're shaping. You're designing a model. It's actually a platform where you're connecting the dots. The thinking here is that you need to get something concrete, or else you will build perhaps on false assumptions. False assumptions is dangerous, right? Especially without number two, the financial competence inside. So what happens is you start, and then you go to the market, and what happens is you go back and you find another way to do it. This could be days, weeks, months, but the thing is that up here you have management, meaning that you are more on an operational level, where you here have the entrepreneurship, and in the middle you have leadership. So the thinking here is that you need to get away from the entrepreneurial stage and get some real-time data. And by real-time data, I mean do it with one plan. Find out what works, what doesn't work. What is something you think is so easy might be the most difficult part, and vice versa. So you need to start doing something. Find somebody who has a business plan saying, have you really interviewed them and saying, what if we did this without starting programming a big platform and using millions of dollars on this, but actually start finding out the dynamics in this model. So if we connect, it could be the Bit Network. When you start scraping this, you find out, whoa, they could actually provide you with a platform. And you could be a kind of a lead into this, or a kind of a tuition for this, or something that you really start building on existing building blocks. This is probably one of my best advice is use existing building blocks. Because if you have to start building eBay, well, eBay is not difficult to build. It costs around $200,000 US to copy, but you can't copy what they've done with the historical data, etc. So it's not just copying the platform. The thinking is, what can you use that is out there, Bit Networks, TechnoServe, etc. I mean, what could that be? Because the more tangible you get, the more concrete you get to raise funds. Right. Because raising funds is suddenly instead of, oh yeah, we have a 85 pages good idea here. Good, show me the results. Yeah. No, it's a 85. Theory. Show me the results. Show me 1, 2, 3. A pilot. So you need to pilot this in order to find out what you're actually building. Because what you think, and this is only perhaps, but what you're building now might not be what's come out in a year or two. You might find out that there are things that suddenly, whoa, why didn't we see this little thing? It's in chapter 7.3.1.2, but suddenly this is the main aspect of your whole model. So you need to go to the market. And I mean, can I say this governs for all businesses? No. But just with what I hear here, I would definitely talk to something like Bit Network. I know they're here tomorrow. So so do that. Financial competences. What we did was we said we don't have it. First of all, I think that financial experts and lawyers would have closed down MYC4 from day one. And perhaps this would have been a good idea to get more advice on this. But what we did was, instead of building a little Humpty and suddenly close it down, we said, let's go up, and we didn't know we would go strong down and go like this. This is a crucial point, this is a crucial point. Like I mentioned in the panel, was really important for us to get a smack in the face. We were ready for a smack in the face. So prepare for smack in the face, where you suddenly, your business model, everything is rosy red and looks good, and suddenly there's something you haven't thought about. But that's better to think there instead of having 1,000 business plans and suddenly standing there and saying, whoa, 1,000 business plans where nothing of this is incorporated. We have a problem. So this is really to go to market, to find out this without playing around with people's lives and stuff. That's not what I'm saying. But it's really to get real-time data, to get up fast from prototyping into a model. We took a chance because we programmed something in iterations, but we didn't program the whole lot. We programmed the small bits in what's the most important to program. And the program is not expensive if you have to say, okay, here they can upload their business plan and they can look at it. Right. That's version 1. But what is the most important? Because did we create or program the money transfer? No, we didn't. I traveled the first time with a suitcase of money through Uganda, and we're not. Because what if we had something wrong there? We would have built something with the wrong assumption. But financial competence is needed, but your model is not financial competence because you're not dealing with capital. You're dealing with business plans, if I'm getting a little square here. But so I don't see financial competence. I would find an advisor who's strong in financial competence, saying it could be one of the what we call the grey gold, could be an older person who says, "Oh, fantastic to help you with this. Meet once a week or every second week, whenever you need, and phone call here and there." So I wouldn't start hiring people with financial competence yet. Okay. I would go back to the first and saying, what is the most critical things to have now? In order to leave this description, because I can see how many pages, I haven't seen it. I guarantee you have a lot of pages, I guarantee. Right?
Probably in our heads.
Yeah.
So you're here. No, but that's good. But then you're here. You have to start describing a lot. And that's also important for the 4th you to get aligned. Because you see something else, and go for all the 4 you. So you need to say, what is it that we do? And suddenly you say, I don't find this stimulating, so I'll leave. Don't take it as you, but just so that you get concrete, because it will get a rocky ride, I guarantee you. So if you're entrepreneurs, it's not just something you brag about around dinner tables. It's a tough job. It's really something that you say, because it hasn't been done before, well, somebody has to do it. There's not a roadmap. Then we do what, then we do what. I mean, this is not opening something that has been here for ages. It's a new way of clustering business plans with potential businesses in Africa, with a social impact. I would not hire. I would not hire a financial expert. I would get 1, 2, or many advisors around you that are not hindering your financial or not your entrepreneurial approach. I would keep that, but I would start. If I were you, get something down on paper. And I'm not thinking 85 pages. Do we see the same? When it's in writing, I mean, just get it down there. Draw the flow. I think the flow for you is maybe the most important, because you might see that the business plan is the first thing that we upload. That no, it's the interview round, and then we do this and find out, is there a need in Africa? What is the assessment of this? I think it's very important. Social impact, as I mentioned in the panel, we were very ambitious with our social impact measurement, and we had to take the bar down to be more conservative and say, let's at least deliver something, instead of saying, oh, we can't do that. I mean, I think what you're in here needs a social impact, because this is the magnet for attracting capital and funds to realize this. Right. But don't overpromise and underdeliver. Period. This is so important, because there is where you really don't. This will flood. I mean, people will say, "Give them money." I mean, I heard this, and this. Rather to the opposite, be conservative and then over-deliver. I mean, I think the social impact. I mean, our model is that we say, okay, here is either an owner or a CEO of this company. They're applying for loan. This is one person. Him, her getting a loan means getting salaries, growing the business, hopefully, has dependencies. And especially in developing countries, you have dependencies. So they're strong. Meaning, if I have a job today, I will share with my close relatives, meaning families and etc. Because I can lose my job, and then you have a job, and then you can share with the family and friends. And we have said there's the owner / CEO, there's the employees, and there's the dependencies. And we created a number that I can send you that, so you feel free to use that. That's just one page.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah, please. The thinking here is that don't make it more rocket science than it is. Don't, and I'm repeating, overpromise, underdeliver. Rather be, this is what we do. This is what we measure. Because one thing I would measure if I were you, that was job creation.
Yeah.
That is something you can sell to the donors and investors, etc. If you're going to invest. Yeah.
How do you manage the risk once you want to support a project and probably the project will be successful, but probably not? Who is responsible for this?
There's some legal contracts in this where you're saying, again, this is the model. Do 4 of you look at the same? How long do you go? My advice here in the beginning is to not be part of guaranteeing anything. Saying, hey, we're a platform. You have a project. We would like to lift it up and put some, add some competences, add some capital, and make it happen. But it's you. It's you as the business. It's not us. I think that's a wise move, to be honest. What I would do is, I would, if I were you, again, take one business where it might be one of your fellow students or something like that has a project. Start again, back to get something concrete, because this is where the questions will arise. And this is where you start documenting what challenges and are you being faced with in such a process, because this is a crucial question. Because if you start promising, to be honest, I think it's out of your hands. I don't think that's what you do. That's the business. What you provide is capital and financial, competences, if that's the goal. There you could, there's a lot of, TechnoServe would be a fantastic to do this, but I also think TechnoServe together with Bit Network has done something. So you should really go into that sphere and see how you could add value on top of that. Because they have some key learnings, and I guarantee you it was not as easy as they just the good idea.
Yeah.
Look good, but they have met a lot of challenges. I think they're very open about that.
And about the projects, do you do some follow-ups? Like after you get the funding for a certain project in Africa, you guys from MYC4 do the follow-up of the project in the area, or not really?
It's the partners. We have partners that are connected with these businesses. We are not. Again, arm's length. These are our partners. The borrowers is not our clients directly, but they're through the partners. The partners have all the incentives to go back to something that is successful and say, do you want another loan? Could we provide you another loan? And I guarantee the investors in the other end will say, this is the third loan. Well, the 2 first loans must have been repaid. We can see that. Again, we're very transparent about that. So I would say I would never ever leave them. It's a database of fantastic knowledge and network. Definitely. I wouldn't own them. Kind of, what if this doesn't succeed? Because now you're in I can just see that complexity rises with a factor 10, maybe a 20.
You own the relationship with the partners on both sides.
Exactly.
You're the multi-platform.
Exactly. We're platform. We're dating side. We're not even a bank. We have bank partners. So we are really trying to lift ourselves out of, and this is only something we found out because I guarantee the first business plan did not have this implemented. So this is because we went back to the model, the drawing board again. Where are we? What can we do? Lift us as much as possible away from complexity. I'm not saying we're afraid of complexity. I'm just, how could we make a smooth, streamlined process that benefits everybody? Not just us, but also the investors. Well, that's easy. And also the trust, back to the trust. If it's a bank running that, it's not you, because then you're regulated. If you start getting regulated, I can add another factor 10, 20 times 10, 20, and then you are, forget it. This is where you, I might be touching your business model, but this is where you need to be. And if this is the case, I would say part number 2, financial competence, hire them soon. Because if you start becoming a bank, I would...
No, thanks.
Then you are down a road that is on your own, to be honest. That's tough.
Turn into that, I think we're abandoning it too.
I don't think maybe you have to go. You have 2:30.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
For you, what was this? What was the point where it broke?
It was a partner in Kenya.
Lily wasn't the last thing.
Yeah.